I know a place with a lot of missing pieces. It's called Mohenjo-Daro. It's an ancient city that was discovered by accident.
Isn't that close to Mount Everest?
That's right. All around are the highest mountains in the world, the Himalayas to the west and the Hindu Kush Mountains to the north. But there were people living near the Indus River as long as 6,000 years ago.
How do we know that?
Evidence. Archaeologists found the remains of ancient farming communities to prove it. Mohenjo-Daro was a major city. If you look carefully at the ruins, you'll see many modern touches. People built their houses out of bricks that were all a similar size and shape, like the walls in a modern house.
Mohenjo-Daro looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. It must have been hard to grow crops.
That wasn't a problem. Just like the Nile, what happened was the Indus River would flood every year and leave behind fertile soil. But the people of Mohenjo-Daro left behind some clues, like these stone seals. The seals were found as far away as Mesopotamia, so we know they were great traders. But as for why they disappeared...
So, what do you think the mayor of Mohenjo-Daro would recognize, Stars?
I think he'd be real impressed with our buildings. We've got materials like steel and glass that they just didn't have back then. But he'd recognize lots of things about how we plan our cities.
The Sindhu River, silently carrying within itself the memories of many glorious civilizations, greeted us with its graceful flow. Between Rohri and Sakar, right in the middle of the river, by the side of the Lansdowne Bridge built by the British in 1889, we entered this religious sanctuary which has always been open to Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs and Christians alike. 180 years ago, Baba Barkhandi Maharaj constructed this center here and named it Sri Sadhu Bela Tirath. Gradually, the temple transformed into a learning center and yogis, jnanis and jogis from far and wide started coming here in search of spiritual knowledge and inner peace. This is evident from the presence of numerous guest houses within the precincts of the Sthan. Where we saw a number of temples in this Sthan, we also came across a library with a large number of books written in Sanskrit, waiting silently with accounts of so many forgotten chapters of history. The expanse of the Sthan, its beautiful architecture and carvings of religious scenes, were all casting a spell upon me. But my surprise reached its height when in one of the rooms within the same sthan, I saw placed respectfully at a height a prayer mat and the Holy Quran.
मात्र 3 अक्षर, लेकिन इतना दम कि दुनिया को हिला दें। टेक्नोलॉजी के किसी भी क्षेत्र में देख लें, एक ना एक आईटीएन जरूर कुछ ना कुछ करता दिखाई देगा, बेशक सो ही क्यों ना रहा हो। वैसे इन्हें सोते हुए भी सोचने की आदत है, ओल्ड हैबिट्स डाई हार्ड। चाहे देश की वाटर प्रॉब्लम पर ध्यान दे रहे हो या पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम पर, इनकी ऊपर की मंजिल हमेशा टिक टिक करती रहती है, बिना रुके।
I was asked to design a writing studio, and I took it to be a perfect project. My client's a writer. She is an early riser and an early worker. In talking with her, I got a very clear vision of her needs, which were very simple. It was to have a table, have a place for her books, and have peace. And the issue of peace was very important. It came to me somewhere very early in the project that going to work every day, getting up, deciding it was time, was to go through a point of arrival. I found a point in the site which was the correlation to that. It was this point between the open field and the woods.
India is smaller than the US, but the population of India is much, much larger. Almost 900 million people live here, as compared to around 250 million people in the United States. 1 out of every 6 people in the world lives in India. India has at least 17 cities that have more than 1 million people, and 3, Bombay, Delhi, and Calcutta, have more than 5 million each. In those places, it can get pretty crowded. People have lived in this part of the world for thousands of years.
For the residents of East Flatbush, Brooklyn, August 14, 2003 started out like any other day.
I come from Bed-Stuy, either do or they gon' die. Gotta keep the ratchet close by. Someone murdered, nobody seen, nobody heard it. Just another funeral service.
It was just another day in the hood until the lights went out.
I dropped my CD this summer. You know what I mean? The major's gonna be throwing mad dough at the kids. You gonna be the groupie nigga like, oh. Now, you ain't pay your bill, dog?
Look at my hair.
Well, I tell you what, instead of $10, give me $5.
Street all experiencing major outages. Just how widespread these outages are is unclear at this time, and whether there's any connection among any of them is unclear at this time.
This is a low-down, dirty shame, people. That even on